Sometimes the news around us seems to do more to divide than to educate. By contrast, we often discover both the answers to complex problems and the celebration of our humanity within our own communities. At Stomp and Shout, your host, Murray L. Riley Jr., brings the community together to discuss news, politics, culture, and current events with the goal to unite, not divide. So tune into the Stomp and Shout talk show with Murray L. Riley Jr., and let's give our community the voice it deserves.
Another frigid night for millions as bitter cold Arctic air grips nearly the entire country. Temperatures shattering records across the Midwest, with some parts in the single digits. In northern Texas on Monday, temps dropped to 9 degrees. That's the lowest on that date since 1959. A nationwide deep freeze has 50% of the U.S. now covered with snow, crippling some parts of the Midwest. In Cincinnati, parents and volunteers of a high school football team were shoveling 400 tons of the white stuff off their turf.
It'll be an ice pack. So if we don't get it off today, they're probably not going to be able to practice on the turf all week.
And in Louisville, Kentucky, almost 2,000 tons of salt covered the streets after their first major snowfall dropped nearly 5 inches, closing area schools on Monday.
My employer we're on a 3-hour delay.
Adding to the misery, up north, lake effect snow is now pummeling Michigan and New York State through Thursday. Some parts will see more than 2 feet.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Stomp and Shout Talk Show. Thanks for tuning in to today's show. I'm your host, Murray Riley Jr. This afternoon show is brought to you by the Sky Shout Media Company, home of the Stomp and Shout Talk Show. Hey everyone, it's midweek news and views, and we're glad you're here today on this Wednesday afternoon. I tell you folks, it's pretty cool here in South Carolina, 41 degrees and clear. Hey, what do you guys think about the clip at the top of the show? It's cold over half of the country. 49 of the 50 states are cold, folks. Can you believe that? And hey, we're only 8 days away from Thanksgiving. I hope everybody doesn't have to travel to where all the snow is. But if you do, you better make sure you got on your snow change, folks. I tell you, man, I woke up this morning. It was extra cold here in South Carolina. The low this morning was like 21. Can you believe that? 21 here in South Carolina. I tell you, you never know what you're going to wake up to in the morning after you hear all these weather forecasts. I tell you, folks, it's a great time to be here on the Stomp and Shout Talk Show for midweek news and views, and I'm glad you're here with me today. Hey, everyone, we're going to talk about some things that have been happening all the way up to the middle of the week. We're going to talk about politics. We're going to talk about sports, entertainment, and what's trending on the web, everyone. And hey, I found a friend that I want to bring along with me today, and he wanted to say a few words to us.
Hump Day, yeah!
Hey, folks, it's Hump Day. That's right, it's Hump Day, and I hope you're having a great Hump Day, folks. And hey, so let's go ahead and get into the show, everyone. And I tell you, there are so many stories that are happening across the country and the world as we speak. And I tell you, folks, sometimes you run across things that you want to share, and there's some things that you might not want to share. So let's move on into the show. We want to talk about politics first. We want to talk about Mary Landau. She's having a hard time down there with this election down in Louisiana, everyone. And it says Washington, after 6 days of political wrangling and voter whipping, the Senate failed to pass the bill on Tuesday, forcing authorization of the Keystone XL pipeline, dashing to hopes for Mary Landau's to add the vote to her list of accomplishments heading into a tough runoff election. 59 senators voted for the bill. One short of 60 needed to clear the filibuster. 14 Democrats joined all the Senate Republicans in voting for the bill, which was which was in the Senate this week, everyone. And I tell you, they've been talking about doing this for a long time now, and they've been wanting to get this bill passed. And here we go, folks. The Republicans are at it again. And I tell you, you never know what they're going to bring to the table. Okay, folks, we have some more political. We have some more political news to share today as well. Paul Ryan to chair a powerful House Ways and Means Committee. Oh boy, we in for it, folks. House Republican leaders chose Paul Ryan on Tuesday to head the powerful House Ways and Means Committee for the next 2 years, giving him a high-profile platform if he decides to run for president in 2016 or beyond. Ryan, the party's vice presidential nominee 2 years ago, had sidestepped questions about his 2016 plans, everyone. So here we go. We have another Republican in there who's going to be over the House Ways and Means Committee, and I can imagine what Mr. Ryan's going to do for things in the upcoming years here of the last couple of years of President Obama's presidency, everyone. We'll talk politics on Political News and Views. The choice is yours. That popular show on Sunday after the church, everyone. After the church hour, everyone, please tune into that show. That show is growing so fast, folks. We try to bring you some interesting political news that's happening across the country and those things that are relevant to our everyday lives. Hey, let's continue on in the show, everyone. We want to talk about some additional things that's happening across the country. Let's talk a little bit about what's happening in Ferguson right now, everyone. And I tell you, I've been watching some of the developments that have been going on with Ferguson, Missouri. How sad a situation that is, everyone. And we're gonna talk about one of the headlines that has been permeating the news right now, and that's will the National Guard really help keep the peace in Ferguson? On Monday, Missouri Governor Jay Nixon declared a state of emergency ahead of the grand jury decision that is currently determining whether to indict Ferguson officer Darren Wilson in the fatal shooting of unarmed 18-year-old Michael Brown. The action activated the use of the National Guard, which was met with widespread concern from community members who are on the edge and fear police crackdown, similar to the outcome of the initial protests that occurred immediately following Brown's death. I'll tell you, everyone, these are some stories that are in the forefront right now. And as we continue on, everyone, we like I said, we will continue to be vigilant with our hopes and prayers that things will remain calm after the decision comes out. But we all know that things do go awry sometime in these situations, everyone. I tell you, I've been very disturbed by a lot of the things that have been said about in lieu of what's happening in Ferguson, Missouri. People will not give the community a chance to heal. You have all these other groups that are trying to make waves into Ferguson, Missouri. They already threatening to come into Ferguson, Missouri and cause issues, everyone. And I tell you, there's nothing good about this situation turning into a powder keg, as far as I'm concerned. We really do need to keep these other groups out of Ferguson, Missouri. And it's a shame that these groups are going to continue to go on into Ferguson. The KKK comes to mind immediately. They already said that they were going to raise issue in Ferguson, Missouri, as developments occur. You have other groups who are trying to infiltrate the KKK, start a cyber war with the Ku Klux Klan, and that's happening as well, everyone, as I speak. We still have the Department of Justice doing their investigation down in Ferguson, Missouri, as well, everyone. So these are some issues that we have to pay close attention to as time moves forward. I think, in my opinion, whatever decision is made, that the citizens need to voice their opinion freely and without any coercion from the police department or anyone strong arm in the community into submission. We need to stay away from that kind of thing. I know we want to keep law and order, and we want to have a peaceful protest. But if we have these agitators move into that area, it's just going to make things worse, everyone. All right, everyone. As we continue on in the show, we want to talk a little bit about The parents of Abdul Rahman Peter Kazik offer a message of mourning and forgiveness. And I tell you, folks, my heart and prayers go out to this family who lost Peter Kazik earlier this week to the Islamic State. And I tell you, folks, this was sad to discover that Peter Kazik had lost his life at the hands of the Islamic State. And his parents came out and said in their first public appearance since their son's execution, the parents of Indianapolis humanitarian worker Abdul Rahman Kazik spoke not of anger but of healing, saying that their hearts are battered but they will mend. Ed and Paula Kazik briefly addressed the media Monday afternoon at Epworth United Methodist Church in Indianapolis, a day after learning their son, 26, had been killed by the Islamic State group, the militant group known as ISIS or ISIL, announced in a video earlier this week, everyone. And how sad that is. Like I said, my heart and prayers goes out to the family and to all the victims who have lost family members at the hands of ISIS. One of the stories that I've been paying attention to, you guys, is that the military is ramping up their efforts in trying to defeat ISIS. One of the stories that I saw that was kind of interesting to me was that there's a shortage of drones that are patrolling in those areas, and we need more drones. At least that's what some of the military leadership is saying. There's not enough drones to do the job. I can imagine so with everything else happening across the world, and the use of drones has increased so much in some of our military operations. I think in time, these issues will be addressed by the president and his administration, everyone. Sometimes these things do happen. It's how you address these situations when they do occur, everyone. I don't know whether or not the drone program is going to be re-ramped up because of the use of the drones in all of our efforts to curtail terrorism across the world. I'm assuming that the president will make some statements in regards to our military defense funding in his State of the Union address, which will be coming up very soon, everyone. So we have to be aware of some of those things that the president may say in his State of the Union address. So if I were you guys, I would take a note and put that one on the refrigerator, that he will be talking about defense funding. He's going to talk about the war effort against ISIL. And he'll be talking about some other things that are globally concerning to the American public and to the nation as a whole. As we continue on in the show, everyone, we want to talk a little bit about what's happening with Starbucks. I tell you, folks, Starbucks saying they will be open on Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Starbucks will remain open in many locations on Thanksgiving and Black Friday. The coffee chain said Tuesday. Hours will vary by location and can be found using the store locator feature on the company's website. Starbucks stores are a gathering place for the entire community and customers who use the stores to connect over coffee in different ways every day, a spokesman wrote in a statement. And I tell you, everyone, we are very happy to welcome customers on Thanksgiving in select locations across the country, everyone. Hey, that was some interesting news there, folks. And to all the fans of Starbucks out there, you're going to have a chance to go out and mingle and have a cup of coffee or a latte if you choose to do so. And I'll tell you, folks, we are approaching that time of year. We're only 8 days away from one of our holidays, Thanksgiving, and I hope everyone is getting prepared for the Thanksgiving holiday. I see that there are so many commercials and different kinds of holiday themed shows that are appearing on TV right now, everyone. And the weather is surely cooperating. What do you guys think with the weather being cold all across the country? And I tell you, it being 21 degrees here in South Carolina, that just says a lot about there won't be too many folks walking around after Thanksgiving dinner if it's still going to be 21 degrees in South Carolina. I'll tell you that much, folks. Hey,